Today's horoscope from AstroCademy, Leo February 25, 2025. Pursuits that combine imagination with action can be very beneficial to you today, and your enthusiasm is strong. Also today, your planetary ruler, Mars, turns direct after over 2 months of retrograde motion. Ideally, any delays you encountered during this retrograde phase have rerouted you in helpful ways. As you advance, you'll enjoy more clarity about home, family, romance, and creative projects. A venture might pick up the pace, reach a turning point, or resume now. Desires are clearer, and you feel more confident about new launches and new beginnings. You'll find that people are more straightforward now, and this is refreshing after a period of limbo. You too may be more direct and confident in your approach, and this feels right up your alley. You could be emerging from the rubble now. This is because mighty Mars, the planet of energy, is finally returning to life in your solar house of home, family, and domesticity. If married or living together, you could become quite busy moving, renovating, or redecorating. This may even require you to step in for one of your parents, and if this is the case, do so with grace. Singles also can use this energy to transform their living space into a sanctuary for romance and intimacy. Seize the day. What do you dream of doing? Something might come to mind as you regard your career path when Mercury in Pisces trines Mars retrograde in Cancer. The intuitive cosmic energy will subconsciously draw your attention to your professional aspirations, ambitions, and experience. You may want to be discreet with your reckonings since Mars will station direct in Cancer shortly after. Once direct, Mars in Cancer will encourage you to be more action-oriented in your career path. However, you should keep your plans and moves to yourself for the time being. You may feel some pressure to have it all figured out. But remember that nobody, ever, has it all figured out. Remember the adage, to err is human, to forgive divine. That doesn't just mean forgiving others. You must learn to appreciate your own ability to forgive yourself. Judgment will prevent you from listening to your own intuition. Your basic needs are to eat well, to get plenty of rest, and to exercise. Start with all three today. If you can put the work away and do something that you really love. Even if this is something that sees you break into a sweat, if it's fun, go for it. The essence of this day encourages you to take part in life's pleasures, especially those that involve others. See what you can arrange for yourself, even if you do have to put in some time at the job first. Go out for lunch or get together with friends this evening. It is just as the asteroid Juno is settling into her first weekend in your sector of adventure, travel, learning, and discovery that the moon leaves, wrapping up its ordinary but well-timed monthly visit. The adventurous lunar vibes of the last few days might run their course, but the spirit of adventure will remain in safe hands. While this will see the moon return to your career sector, it is not until just before leaving in 2 days that this will bring things together on the income, work, and career fronts, something that will get the new working week off to a positive start. It is just as the asteroid Juno is settling into her first weekend in an adventurous part of your chart, and as the moon leaves that Venus, the planet of love, moves into her final 7 days in direct motion in Aries. It is Venus' retrograde turn that will see her turnaround and spend the next 5 weeks drawing closer to Juno, with the spirit of romance and adventure that came together over the last few days, just a taste of things to come. Our eyes in the sky. After what may have felt like an endless struggle, a time filled with hesitation, emotional exhaustion, and a sense of being stuck in a loop, Mars stations direct in Cancer today, marking the end of its retrograde journey. This shift is like the first rays of sunlight breaking through after a long, stormy night. If you've been feeling drained, uncertain, or caught in cycles of doubt and second-guessing, you might now begin to sense a shift in your energy, a return to a state of clarity and determination. It's as if the fog has lifted, and the path ahead, though still requiring effort, now feels more attainable and less overwhelming. Have you ever woken up one day and suddenly felt a renewed sense of control over your life, as if something just clicked into place? That's the kind of energy today brings: a fresh start, a new rhythm, and a realization that progress is not only possible but already beginning to take shape. It's the moment where you stop looking backward and instead focus on what's next with a sense of purpose. Tasks that once felt tedious or insurmountable may now seem manageable, and your ability to set boundaries and express your needs could feel more natural. If you've been holding back emotions, particularly frustration or unresolved tension, Mars direct encourages you to acknowledge and release them in a healthy, constructive way. It's not about acting impulsively but about giving yourself permission to process these feelings and move forward without carrying unnecessary weight. Have you ever been surprised by how much lighter you feel after simply expressing what's been on your mind? Today offers that kind of relief. It's also important to take a moment to reflect on what you've learned during the retrograde period. Instead of rushing ahead, ask yourself, what patterns have emerged in your relationships, career, or personal growth? What lessons have you encountered that you may not have fully processed yet? Sometimes, our greatest insights come not in the midst of struggle but in the moments just after, when we finally have the perspective to see how far we've come. Now is the time to integrate those lessons and let them shape your next steps. With Mars gaining momentum, you might start viewing the world through a clearer lens. The things that once felt confusing or out of reach could suddenly begin to make sense, and decision-making becomes more intuitive. If you've experienced moments of doubt recently, trust that the clarity you've been seeking is now within reach. Have you ever had a moment where everything seemed to align, and you just knew what you needed to do? That kind of realization is more likely to happen now, especially if you remain open to new insights. This is also a time to share what you've learned with those around you, whether through meaningful conversations, creative expression, or simply being more open about your experiences. The things you've gone through, your challenges, your growth, your discoveries could be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. Have you ever noticed how sharing your story can inspire or bring clarity to someone else? Your words and experiences hold power, and today is a great day to use them for connection and understanding. As your energy starts to increase, remember that balance is key. When Mars shifts, it can feel like an internal fire reigniting, but that doesn't mean you have to sprint forward without rest. Take care of yourself. Pay attention to your physical and mental well-being. Are there any habits that no longer serve you? This is an ideal moment to make small but impactful changes, adjusting your daily routine, being mindful of your nutrition, or carving out time for self-care. Even simple acts like spending time in nature, moving your body, or drinking more water can significantly improve your overall well-being. Communication also takes on a more powerful role today. You may find it easier to express your thoughts with confidence, and others are more receptive to your ideas. If you've been avoiding a difficult conversation, now is a good time to address it with honesty and clarity. Have you ever had someone unexpectedly seek your advice, and in the process of helping them, you realized just how much you've grown yourself? Today presents opportunities for those kinds of exchanges, where supporting others can also reinforce your own understanding of your journey. Intellectually, you might feel sharper and more engaged, making it a great time for problem solving, learning, or diving into discussions that challenge and expand your thinking. You may feel a renewed curiosity, a desire to explore new perspectives, or even take the lead in conversations. If you've been contemplating a new project or considering an opportunity, trust that you have the insight and determination to see it through. Leadership, however, isn't just about pushing forward, it's also about listening. Have you ever been in a conversation where a simple shift in perspective changed everything? That kind of breakthrough energy is present today, so be open to collaboration and new ideas.